So this is a really interesting episode of the Green Screen. We're talking about structure. Now, there's lots of different types of business structures, and this is, what, episode 5 now, I think? Probably one of the most engaging episodes that we've done, because we're talking about, like, should I start a sole proprietorship or an LLC or perhaps a C corporation? And it's like that whole tax thing and an accountant thing. You're like, Snoopy, the teacher in the front of the room. But there's a lot of relevance to that as you're going. And there's so many people. I know when I started a business, I started a sole proprietorship. How did you start?
I don't remember.
That's the point. I think in fact, when I started a business, I started as nothing. I started, washing windows, pressure washing, like just hustling constantly and not having a business license. And one day I was up on a roof pressure washing, and my friend was holding me, like belaying me with these amazing high quality, cheapest belaying equipment that you could buy from REI, and these people started taking pictures of us. Like, that's really weird why these people are taking pictures of us. And it was the freaking OSHA, or WISHA as it's called in Washington, and we got like completely fined. I had no business doing business, and it was horrible. Paid thousands of dollars and almost got in serious trouble because it wasn't set up right. So setting your business up right and getting some good advice, I think, is a good thing, and probably not the most creative talk that we're going to talk about in this series, but also super relevant.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things that you never think about whenever you start a business. You start a business because you want to make money, you want freedom, whatever that stuff is. You don't think about the fact that one day you might be sued. And these are real things that happen.
Wait a minute, you can get sued? You've been sued?
Yeah, so like these are real things that happen, and you need to be set up properly so that you can protect your assets.
Yeah, so fact, if you're a sole proprietorship or a partnership, and if you get sued, what happens?
They can take everything from you.
Everything from you. So yeah, it's the easiest thing to do is start a sole proprietorship, but everything is everything.
Yeah, you're not protected.
Press, your house, your home, and that stuff goes fast. I mean, even if you have insurance, most car insurance limits out at 50 grand, So if you get in an accident and you're doing something for work, that's it. It could be game over. So how did you guys set yourself up, and how do you use it to protect yourself? What advice did you get through the process?
So I think early on we met with a CPA. We talked to a CPA about what we should really be doing if we're going to have employees. That's an important thing. You need to know, like, is it just going to be you, or are you going to have employees? As soon as you hire an employee, you open yourself up to vulnerabilities, right? So we set ourselves up as an LLC, and when you set up yourself as an LLC, there's a couple different ways you can set up. You can file as an S Corp, or you can file as an LLC. And there are certain advantages and benefits to each. Now, like, as a small business owner, you don't need to be the expert at these things, but it is very important that you have people around you that are experts at these things.
Yeah, I think I didn't know. I started out as a sole proprietorship. In fact, the first name of our company was silkscreeningsupplies.com. And then right away, my CPA was like, you're hiring people, you're starting to do some decent revenue, you need to become a corporation. I was like, okay, I'll become a corporation. Knowing now what I do now, I totally would do an LLC. Because the difference between a corporation and an LLC is a limited liability company. A corporation, whether you're an S Corp or a C Corp, has to operate independently. So there's so much more paperwork that has to be done as a corporation. So you can still file taxes in LLC, but LLC is a much easier way to form a business. You need to operate an agreement. With a corporation, you need bylaws, you need minutes, you need annual shareholder meeting. Even if you're one shareholder, if you're not in any form of business, if you're not operating as a business, they can get through that layer. So if somebody's suing you and they say, oh yeah, you're a corporation, all your personal expenses are run through the corporation. No meeting minutes, no shareholder agreement, no bylaws. You're screwed. It's easy, it's a veil. And it's easy to pierce the veil. But if you have all that stuff, you keep your personal finances and your corporate finances separate. or if they are together, you segregate them in your P&L and your financial statements. So you want to keep things as separate as possible, so if anything does happen, you have that layer in between, which is why the corporation is, or the limited liability company is there in the first place.
Right. So beyond a CPA, having a lawyer that you can trust to help you through these things, because a lawyer can see all the holes in your company, and his whole job is to protect you from those holes. So if you don't know a CPA, if you don't know a lawyer that you can trust, a good idea is to maybe get with a business coach and have them help you through those processes, have them help you meet these people. The people that you want on your side, you want a good CPA on your side, you want a good lawyer on your side, and you want a good banker on your side. These are the people that could shut down your business tomorrow or keep you running tomorrow.
Yeah, they can be there. And I would have been so screwed without good lawyers at the beginning, because we had people that I once started a company, I got kicked out of the company. I literally had no control over the company, and I didn't even know it. But I had a good lawyer. He helped me get back, control the company, kick the person that kicked me out of the company back, and it was all an S corp, so it was all easy to do. But that's just something that can happen. You can, no fault of your own, because you don't know any better. That's why you need that expert and that advice. I think one thing I would be careful about is your tax consequences, because as different types of companies have different types of tax consequences. And if you are a C Corp, which is a separate individual company, and that is basically, you could be paying taxes twice as a small company. A C Corp is what you would be if you want to get public or public investment, but the C Corp pays taxes. LLCs, S Corps, partnerships, sole proprietorships is a pass-through tax entity. So that means that you're only paying taxes once, versus if you make $100K in a C Corp, you're going to pay taxes on $100K. And then if you want to take any of that money out, you're going to take that out as profit and you're going to pay taxes on it again, so you're paying taxes twice. So, but on the flip side, if that corporation has a lot of expenses and wants to make a lot of investments, it's better to have that segregated. So as an owner-operator, I definitely would recommend either that like S Corp or that LLC rel, but I'm not a lawyer, don't take my advice. Definitely get that from somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. One thing that Ryan brought up when he was talking about what you have to have as a corporation is minutes. You have to have minutes as an LLC as well. And so that's something that you want to set up with a lawyer and have them make all those minutes out for you. There's anytime you make a big decision as a company, such as, hey, we're going to lease a new building, or whatever it could be, you need to have that documented in minutes. Anytime there's a leadership change, like you might have a partnership, and at some point you might buy out your partner, or you might bring on a partner or something like that. You need to have it all documented. If you ever get into a situation where a lawyer is coming after you, or maybe you have an employee that is coming after you, suing you, or another company suing you, one of the first things they'll ask for is your minutes. And if you don't have them, well, it's game on for them. That just shows that you have holes in your story.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
And the other thing too is that to make sure that all the I's get dotted, the T's get crossed, because we set up an LLC once, and just because you set the company up as an LLC doesn't mean it's actually an LLC. You have to have the operating agreement or the articles of incorporation.
Right.
Because if those aren't there, literally we set up an LLC without an operating agreement, and it was a 50-50 partnership, literally in purgatory, because there's no way to get out of that. The only way to get out of that is go to court and sue each other or buy each other. So we ended up buying the person out, and it ended up being fine. But it was like literally 4 or 5 years of purgatory. Like imagine a marriage that you don't have a prenuptial agreement, which is probably most marriages, and that's why most people have to get lawyers when they get divorced. So if you have it documented up front and everything like the right way, you don't have to argue about it at the end, and it's so much cleaner.
Yeah, I think, and that's a big lesson to learn in any situation, whether you're dealing with customers, or you're dealing with your employees, or you're dealing with a partner, or anything. Document everything ahead of time so that on the back end, no one can be upset.
Speaking of documentation, how do you back that all up? Because part of your structure is not just the way you're formed, it's your business systems and your processes and everything like that. So like, do you save it all? You try to orchestrate it all? Where do you put it? Like, how do you document it? What does document mean to you?
I wish I knew where you were going with this.
I mean, does it live on your computer? Do you save it to the cloud? Is it orchestrated? Where do your minutes live?
Oh, our minutes live in a binder.
In a binder?
Yeah.
So that binder can be taken out, and then what happens to your minutes?
They go away forever.
I would recommend backing. How many of you like started working something, you're doing a bunch of work, or you can't find something? Everything's cloud now. You have Google Drive, you have Dropbox, you have Microsoft. Everything goes to the Apple. Everything goes to the cloud. Save it on the cloud. We make it illegal for somebody at Ryonet to save something on their personal computer. Because why? Your personal computer crashes, you lose everything, or you have something printed and there's a fire and there's no record of it. Scan it, print it, document it out, upload it to the cloud. It's a business system. Making sure that you have business systems to support what you're doing so that you can always go back and find it. You don't have to search for it. It's filed, it's orchestrated. There's a good video that we did on how to orchestrate your business from email to the cloud to make sure that you're not having to work harder, because how many times do you look for something, you can't find it? If you just take the time once to orchestrate it the right way and to move it to the cloud, done forever and save forever. So,
good talk, man. Thanks.
Maybe you should move your minutes.
Maybe you should go live in the clouds.
The one thing that Brett has done that has been just amazing is your business systems. So business systems are three things. You have your people, your processes, and the system that runs it. And it takes all three things to run a system. So a lot of people focus on the system. Some people only focus on the processes, and some people only focus on the people, but it's all three things working together. You can train people all you want, but if those processes aren't documented, the moment you get a new person, what happens? You can document all the processes you want, but if you don't train people how to use it, what happens? You can do both of those things, but you don't have a system to put it into, what happens? So you guys have actually created your own system.
And that's what we're going to talk about on the next episode of Green Screen, Made to Make It.
Your system. How do you operate? Oh, sweet. Awesome.